Sports U London Boxing News from the capital city. He was Shane McGuigan. We just did a media workout there with George Groves. The adapting period between the two of you, how would you scale that out of 1 to 10, how you've gelled together so far?
I think he's not going to implement everything I wanted to implement after working together for 2 and a bit months. But I think from what I've seen in the gym, he adapts so quick. That's a sign of a world-class fighter. He's a guy that can take on minimal information and maximise it. And he's just able to do it. And I think as the progression goes, as he gets challenged more with the different opposition, then I think that's when you see the most out of what we're doing in the gym.
Most definitely. Also noticed with George, last few times I've seen him, he looks brighter. He looks before, like he looked. No disrespect to Paddy Fitzpatrick, but he didn't look himself under that. I sort of watched him going against Carl Froch. Like, I know he was under Paddy there, but just left Adam, and he was fearless, and he didn't care what was coming at him, and he seems to have that. He seems to have that belief. Back if you.
I think it's just a quiet confidence. It's just the confidence in himself that he's in the right environment, and no matter what you can think when you're in the gym with a Carl Frampton and a David Hay, and you've got all these different prospects coming through. It's just they're going to thrive off each other, and they just know that they're in the right environment. We could be doing the worst training in the world, but they all think that we're doing the right training. But the fact is we are actually doing the right training, and they're all just bouncing off each other, and it's just happy. The fact is you've got to be happy in this game. It's too tough not to be happy. If you're in a depressed state and feel pressurised, then you're in the wrong game.
Most definitely. You just touched on it there. You got your prospects coming through. You turned over under your leadership, a few of them, and obviously like to Carl Frampton, Conrad, sort of middle ground at the minute. But if they get to a stage now, if they're all in the gym together, is it sort of a case of no one wants to lag behind the other, and is it quite?
When it comes to circus and stuff, they all push themselves on. But when it comes to all doing their boxing, everyone gets individual time. That's why I'm here from 9:30 in the morning, and I leave at 12 o'clock at night. I know it sounds silly, but that's the sort of hours that I'm putting in. But I have some time in the day. But everyone gets their individual attention and individual time. And what I will do is I'll have George, and then I'll have a prospect. So he's sort of feeding off George, and then then I'll have Carl, and then I'll have another prospect afterwards, and then so it works that way. So, and then obviously David he's a night owl, so he trains at night. But I just think it's, as you said, it's just a quiet confidence. They're in the right environment, they're doing the right training, and they're happy.
Do you think going forward now, George's mishaps in the last few fights, they're behind him now? He's confident, he knows what he wants and needs to do going forward in the game now. Shane, you confident that he's right up there now?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, when it comes to world level, the difference is 1 or 2%. Everybody can take a shot at world level. Everyone can punch to a decent standard. So obviously you get some freaks in nature like Golovkin's and stuff, but he's been at that top level. He's mixed it. He's fallen short against some decent fighters, but he could have got it right. And I think he's just kicking himself that he didn't. But we're not going to continually look back. We're just going to look to the future. There's some fantastic fights out there for him. You've got James DeGale, who's flying at the moment. You got Callum Smith, who's coming through. You got Abrahams is fighting Ramirez. You've got Felix Sturm boxing Chudinov, and it's got some really mouth-watering fights out there, especially domestically. Because I'd say this and the super bantamweight division are the two divisions that has a couple of domestic world-class people in it, and you don't really get that. So it just makes for a huge fight domestically, but at that world stage.
George's opponent, De Luisa, coming in quite a bit of an unknown quantity on our shores. What sort of performance do you expect George to put on there, Shane?
I think he just go out there and do what he does best. Go out there and establish his jab and set him up for a decent shot. De Luisa is quite loose, quite long, so he'll be quite hard to catch clean for a few rounds. Pulls back quite a bit and wings a lot. You know, he's had 18 wins and 14 knockouts, obviously at a substandard level, but he's still knocking guys out. So he knows how to punch, he knows how to finish. So it's gonna test him. But you know, we've done some decent work in the gym. He sparred probably about 150 rounds for this fight. And he's looking magnificent, you know, and it's just about making sure we just put the icing on the cake and go out there and put on a good show and move on to bigger and better things.
Just finally, Shane, on a personal level,
Yeah.
how does your body now hold up? When I first met you, training cold,
Yeah.
and you know, you had a few boys in, Joe Joyce coming down every now and again, didn't he? And
Big
stuff.
Joe, yeah.
Big Joe,
Yeah. Punch my arms.
Yeah, but now you go to all these, and all your boys are punchers. How do the elbows and the wrists hold up to that at the end of the day, Shane?
They don't, but that's probably a benefit of me being 27 years of age. You know, the fact is that I believe this. If it's a young man's sport, you know, especially pad work. You got to emulate what a boxer's going to do. You got to get up on your toes, and you just got to replicate what they're going through in sparring. And the more live the pad work is, the more they're going to benefit from when they go and spar, and the more they benefit from the sparring they're going to benefit on fight night. So I always teach people to punch very hard and fast, and yeah, it's damaging to me, especially when you got like Bully David Hay hitting my arms. But I'm providing a service for my fighters. I'm not going, okay, wait, I'm sore today, go and hit the bag. They haven't employed me for that. They've employed me to get the most out of them, and by doing that, it's lots of pad work. So it's definitely taking its toll, but it's I don't know, I enjoy it, and I'll have prosthetic arms by the time I'm bloody 35, but hopefully I would have done all right.
I can really imagine. Shane McGuigan, thank you for your time, sir. Much appreciated. Thanks.